It began like any other morning, or so I thought. The first thing I noticed was an envelope sitting neatly on the kitchen counter, my name written across it in his unmistakable handwriting. At first glance, I assumed it was just a quick note. Maybe he'd gone to work earlier than usual, or perhaps stopped by his mother's place. But as soon as I picked it up, a heavy knot formed in my stomach. Something about it felt different, almost final. The house itself carried an eerie stillness, as if it knew what I didn't yet. There were no shoes by the door. Our bed was left undone. Small details that shouted something was wrong. The envelope trembled in my hands. I couldn't explain why, but it felt like the calm before a storm. The kind of silence that presses down on you because it knows what's coming. Slowly, with unsteady fingers, I slid it open. 2 words were scrawled across the top of the page. Words that stole the air from my lungs. Goodbye, Emma. The rest of the letter unfolded like a confession, though not mine, his. Only, the words weren't angry or rushed. They were measured, controlled, and heartbreakingly clear. He wrote that he had known for some time. Ever since that night I came home carrying the faint trace of another man's cologne. The same night I swore I'd been working late. From that moment he knew. He noticed the phone calls I always took behind closed doors. The extra showers. The supposed girls' nights, that weren't what I claimed them to be. He saw through every excuse. But the part that shattered me wasn't his discovery, it was his silence. Instead of confronting me, he waited, giving me the chance to tell the truth myself. Hoping I would. Praying I'd choose honesty. I never did. He wrote that he watched as I slowly became a stranger, someone he couldn't reach no matter how hard he tried. Each passing day chipped away at him until there was nothing left inside but emptiness. And still, his words weren't filled with hate. That was the most painful part. If he had screamed, cursed me, or written with rage, I could have absorbed it as deserved punishment. But his tone was steady, almost gentle, even while wounded. He told me he loved me, enough to let me go, because staying would only destroy us both. And in that moment, I realized I had already destroyed everything. The letter slipped from my trembling hands as I collapsed onto the floor, tears streaming uncontrollably. The weight of guilt was crushing, but even heavier was the clarity of what I had done. I had exchanged something rare and steady for something shallow and fleeting. The man I betrayed wasn't just my husband, he was the one who folded my laundry when I forgot, who rubbed my back when anxiety overtook me, who brewed my coffee just the way I liked it, who pressed a gentle kiss to my forehead every single night before bed. He noticed everything, quietly, without fanfare, and I had taken him for granted until it was too late. I tried calling him, but his phone was disconnected. I texted, emailed, even drove to his office, only to learn he had taken indefinite leave. That was when the truth sank in. This wasn't an impulsive decision. He had planned it carefully, not out of anger, but out of heartbreak. He needed to walk away from the life we had built, from me. The days that followed blurred into one another. I replayed countless moments I had ignored, the way his eyes lingered on me at dinner, waiting for words I never spoke. The quiet evenings where he reached out only to meet my distance. The mornings when he asked, "Are you okay?" And I smiled through my lies. I clung to the hope that maybe he would return, that somehow we could rebuild. But weeks passed, then months, and eventually, I heard from friends that he had moved to a smaller town and started fresh. He never badmouthed me. He simply said, "It didn't work out," and left it at that. In time, I wrote back to his letter. Not with excuses or justifications, but with a single truth. I was wrong. I loved him. And I had ruined something pure because I didn't know how to hold on to real love. I never received a response. I didn't expect one. His goodbye had already been said. That letter remains with me still, folded neatly in a drawer I rarely open. It serves as a reminder of the kind of love that once existed in my life. Quiet, patient, and watchful. A love I lost, not because it failed me, but because I failed it.